Hey, g'day guys, Ross here in New Zealand. Don't use the selfie stick very often, so excuse me if I look like an idiot. Just thought I'd give you a bit of a tour of our track here. I'm in Rotorua, which is middle of the North Island of New Zealand. Pretty much the middle of nowhere. It's like a big valley here. Weather's going to be quite good for racing, nice and cool, track shouldn't dry out. The track is, as you can see, is pretty loose. Gets really rutty throughout the day. Quite big. It's the only fifth scale track here in the North Island of New Zealand. So quite a few guys travel to get here. Come from Auckland, and I'm from Napier, which is about a 3.5 hour drive on a slow day. Had a really good trip here this morning. Give the old car a bit of a stretch out, which was good. Hardly any traffic. So on RC Obsession, there's been a few guys talking about MCDs and having trouble on loose tracks. So this track does get really loose after a few races. Hasn't got any really big jumps or anything. It's not very technical. Be quite good to have a few more technical spots in it, but as I said, it's the only fifth scale track in the country, really, in the North Island at least. So we all sort of converge here. Usually get 10, 12, 14 trucks on a good day, so just a bit of fun. So I'll take you across and we'll have a look at the MCD. For you Australian guys, here's the old Commodore. I come across the Napier Taupo Road, which is a fairly notorious stretch of road here in the country, but the Commodore does it. I quite enjoy that drive at 5 o'clock in the mornings. Bit of fun. So here I've got my Lossy 5T and an MCD. Still having trouble with the MCD on the loose track, like a lot of you guys. It's got a stock 34 on it, stock 32 Zenoa, which is, like we've discussed on Obsession, is probably a little bit overpowered. Since last time I raced here, I've put an extension kit in it, which extends the chassis about 52 millimeters, I think it is, which is quite a lot. The body doesn't really fit anymore, so I've had to make some crap up here to get the body to fit. But it holds the lap record here. I did one miracle lap last meeting, did a 24-second lap, 24.7, which was a total fluke because the rest of the day it was an absolute bag of shit. So basically what I do is bring that one along, change some setup stuff, see how it goes, and then I end up racing the Lossy here. So I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. What I did find is it looks like it's got heaps of front and toe, but what I notice is when the front comes up and you're on power, the toe sort of straightens out. So when you're tapped out down the straight, I think it was getting to the point where it was towing in and then starting to wander all over the place, and keeping it straight is a real pain in the ass. When the track gets really loose and bumpy, it just tends to hit a bump and go off wherever it wants to, whereas the Lossy is a lot heavier and just, it's like a bulldozer compared to driving this thing. This thing's fast and dirty, and the Lossy is just yeah, like I said, it's just like driving a bulldozer compared to the MCD. But the Lossy's consistent, not as quick but consistent, and obviously does a bit better while you're racing. So the Lossy, I've just put a Victory pipe on it, which came on another deal that I just picked up. I've never raced it with this pipe before. It had a Gizmo pipe on it, and I've noticed just straight away in the driveway at home, the Victory pipe took all the lag out of the bottom end, and yeah, so it seems to pick up power a lot faster. This has got a ported 34 on it. Yeah, no, it goes pretty good. I've got the Easy Start on there. overdue for bearings and stuff like that, but I haven't done any work on it for quite a while. So yeah, no, good toy. Pretty rough, but I'm not one of these guys that makes shit for show. It gets raced and raced hard. This track is really, you're pretty much tapped out the whole way around. There's only a few spots you're really off the gas. So like I said, a few more technical spots and it would be quite nice, but it is what it is. We come here and have a bit of fun and see how we go. So this Victory pipe, I worked on a guy's car the other day that had a Bartolone pipe on it, and I can tell you this Victory is way louder. I know you guys have been talking about how loud some pipes are on the Bahas. I had to put earmuffs on at home when I fired this thing up. I had ringing ears. Can't believe how loud it is. I don't know what the decibel reading is, but it's feckin' loud. So yeah, but it seems to make good power, and we'll see how it goes while I'm racing. The Gizmo pipe I took off it I used to like, but I've noticed straight away that this thing, the bottom end, and I haven't really had it tapped out, but the bottom end certainly took all the lag out of the engine. So so we'll see how it goes. So I'll do a couple of videos of the racing later on, and I'll probably do some practice laps with this MCD. One other thing I've done with the MCD is I took 2 discs out of the RC end, out of the diff. It's got limited slip diffs right throughout the whole thing. So I took 1 plate either side out of the rear diff just to try to open it up a little bit more. I think it was getting so much drive, so we'll just see how that goes, and if it goes awesome I'll race it, but if not I'll go back to old trusty over here. I will probably put a 30 like a 29 in the MCD at some point. I've got another 34. I actually picked up this Lossy over here, which I just bought for parts today, but that had a OBR full mod 34 on it. So I'll probably chuck the I've got a dirt mod. I'm actually building a Baja late model because I do a lot of oval racing as well. You'd know if you see my videos on YouTube. So the 32, the stock 32, is going into a dirt saloon car, which is a late model, like you guys in Aussie, and I think you run them in the States as well. So I'll keep an eye on that build coming up. But yeah, I'll be giving the Lossy a big rebuild when I get time, and there's some good gear on this one here, so I'll do a bit of a swap around. So yeah, we'll see how the practices go, and I'll film a bit of racing. I put a bit of bullshit on the body. The 30-degree body panels were black, and I just don't like the black. And the yellow, sorry, the red bits on there are from a fish bin from like Mitre 10 or Bunnings. For you Aussie guys will know what they are. So yeah, just a bit of bullshit there. Looks the part. Just, I found when it was grey, it was really hard to see on the back straight, and just had a bit of trouble keeping an eye on it. So just try to put a bit of colour on it, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Cheers, catch you later guys.